Hey guys, just picked up one of these one-up arcade machines. You've probably seen them floating around Walmart, GameStop, for around the $249, $299 range. And let me tell you, at that price, these things are a steal. You might see a lot of bad publicity online, people bad-mouthing them, saying they're not big enough, they're not tall enough, they're not full size. You know, they're not meant to be. They're three-quarter size machines. With the riser, they're actually not bad at all. They are pretty much as tall as a regular arcade machine with the riser. I'm 6 foot tall, and the control deck comes up past my belly button, which is where my hands would naturally fall when I'm playing an arcade machine. I mean, they're not 300 or 400 pounds. You don't want to be dragging something that size around your living room all the time. I mean, they are a home unit. So, I mean, for what they are, they're pretty legitimate to what they are supposed to replicate. This is the Street Fighter cabinet. There's a couple modifications that I've done, as you can see. I'll go over them here in a minute. There's two phases of mods that I want to do. One's mechanical, which I've completed. I've done all the mechanical changes that I want. The next one is going to be skins. I'm actually going to change this into a Super Mario machine. I'm going to have some vinyl graphics printed out at my local printer, and just change all the Street Fighter graphics to Super Mario Brothers. Put some original arcade artwork on there. Maybe a Nintendo logo above the coin door. These don't come with a coin door, by the way. That's one of my mods I'll get to here in a minute. But just some of the things I've done. You'll probably notice right away the LED lighting above the marquee and below the marquee. That's something that I did. I was going to do a backlit marquee with some backlit vinyl with the original Super Mario Brothers logo there. But I actually found some channel strip and an LED strip that goes in there with a little light diffuser bar. Kind of hard to see because of the reflection. But I've got two of those. I've got one above the marquee just to light up the marquee. And these are both, I can change the colors on both of these strips if I want, or have them rotate. The top one I leave white just to highlight that marquee. The one underneath I actually have on a rotating color, and it lights up the bezel pretty well, especially in the dark. The next modification I've done is I've upgraded the sound system. It comes with just, out of the box, it comes with a right channel only. It's mono. I've added an amplifier to it and installed another speaker on the left side here. So now we're in stereo. Got some little speaker grills off of eBay. I think they were $5 or something like that is all. So the sound is much better now. And when a lot of people mod the sound on these, they'll get an amplifier and hook it up in the back. And you have to take that back panel off to adjust the volume. It's really kind of a pain. I prefer the user to be able to set their own volume. So I actually installed the knobs here in the front. This is your master volume, treble, and bass. While we're down here, I've also installed 4 extra buttons. These 1-player start, 2-player start, coin in, coin in. So you can have free play button. Basically, you hit the button and it acts like it's dropping a quarter. Or I've got a switch up here on the top where I can flip the switch and those buttons shut off and won't do anything. So you have to use the coin door. The coin door is a full arcade coin door. It's cast iron, it's heavy, it's legitimate. It's not a replica sticker, it's not a little like arcade wannabe, it's the real deal. It's not the hap controls, it's full arcade. Open up the door here, it's all wired up, goes right into my control panel. It works great. Let me see if I can drop the quarter. You'll see the credit come up. There it is. And you can see if we hit the free credit button, no more credits are added. But if I flip this switch up here, then hit the button, it adds credits. So you can either have free play or coin play. I prefer coin play. It's a little more authentic. It just adds to the feel of the arcade. Another interesting thing that I did here is most people use a Raspberry Pi to convert these. I did not. I actually had some leftover Matricom G boxes from my home network the last time I upgraded, and it works perfect. The nice thing about that is I don't have to mess with anything with the Raspberry Pi. Anything that works on Android from the Google Play Store will work on this. So any emulator, Super Nintendo, Nintendo, MAME, whatever you want, anything that runs on Android will run on this. And that's actually accessible You can see the G box right there behind the quarter bucket. I did get the riser. The riser does make it full size, like I said. If you don't want that blazing 1UP Arcade logo on the front of the riser, instead of just painting over it or whatever, I just flipped it around. The back of the riser is completely black. You just don't get that little notch that's cut out. You've probably seen it on the front of the regular risers, which, I mean, to me is a good trade-off. I don't want the branding on it. What else? That's really pretty much it. I've changed these 1-player and 2-player buttons. Like I said, 1-player and 2-player now down here. These are now the menu buttons. So I can hit that and now get out to my game menu. I could have installed over 10,000 games on this if I wanted to. I really don't like scrolling past a bunch of games I've never heard of or can't pronounce. I just put 113 of my classic favorite childhood games on here. The ones I used to drop quarters on in the arcade. The ones I used to play on my home Nintendo system when I was 10 years old. It's just so much more nostalgic that way. I mean, you've got everything on here. You've got Super Mario Brothers, Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Double Dragon, Kung Fu, Centipede, all the Mortal Kombats. I mean, you name it, it's on here. And if it's not, I can have it on here in 5 minutes. It's as simple as going online, downloading the right ROM, and I mean, just pop it right onto the server. It's so easy. If for some reason I get sick of these 113 games, which, I mean, they're all my favorites, so I don't see that happening, but I can exit out of here. And I've also got Super Nintendo and Nintendo on here also. So we'll go into Super NES. There's your Super Mario World, your Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, Off-Road, Street Fighter 2, which is what came with this cabinet, so that's good to have. NBA Jam. I mean, they're all on here. Legend of Zelda, whatever you want. Another thing that I was going to do is I was going to do a master power switch so that it shuts everything off at once, because right now the coin door has a separate power supply, the control panel has a separate power supply, the LED light strips has a separate power supply, the monitor has a separate power supply. It's all into a power strip. Yeah, I could get back in the back and hit the button on the power strip to turn everything off, but that's kind of a pain every time. So I just tied it into my home network. I can have Alexa do it. Alexa, turn off the arcade.
Okay.
Simple as that. So any questions, let me know down in the comments. Any mods you'd like to see, also let me know, and I'll see what I can do.